Have you ever seen a more random beef in the NBA than this?
Looking it up and out, well defended by Moody, but Draymond and Edey. There's a hard foul. You don't have Steph and you don't have Kuminga. Shooting threes like crazy. Draymond.
Why does a future NBA Hall of Famer hate a rookie this much? After AD missed one of his free throws from the technical foul, Draymond would start screaming.
I think Jaren Jackson Jr. has 3 fouls. Draymond will take one of those flagrants every now and then, just to establish.
The Golden State Warriors are currently 18 and 17, and Draymond Green is having one of the worst seasons of his life, shooting just 42% as his current win shares per 48 minutes, and box score plus minus rank as the 3rd worst of his career. Meanwhile, Zach Edey, as the 9th overall pick, is averaging 10.6 points and 7.7 rebounds per game in just 21.4 minutes a night for a Grizzlies team that is 3rd in the Western Conference at 24 and 13 with a much younger roster than the Warriors. Here is where things get even more interesting. Recently, it came out that the NFL had 72 of the top 100 television broadcasts in 2024. The NBA had 0. With this in mind, we have recently been seeing fights and drama everywhere, giving us a real question. Are we seeing a change in the NBA's policies? Is the NBA now leaning into this drama instead of trying to promote the buddy-buddy league that no one really loves, if we're being honest? We want competition. So today we're leaning into that drama. We're looking at 3 of the biggest ongoing beefs in the NBA currently, which include Draymond versus Edey, Trey Young versus the Knicks, and Russell Westbrook versus the world. So what's up, Mike here, and sticking with Draymond versus Zach Edey. In November, Draymond made huge headlines when he decided to make things personal with the Grizzlies.
You got Janky Taylor Jenkins, who's a softie. He's big enough to possibly have fooled people that he could be a little tough. And now nobody believe you. Y'all gotta stop breeding these soft dudes, man.
Where did this stem from? Well, in a 5-point win versus the Grizzlies, Draymond was ejected from the game because of this.
Green falls down. Here comes Desmond Bane, and a foul's going to be called on Draymond Green. Was it on Green? Looks like it. He's headed toward the tunnel.
The first tech came because of a trip, something Draymond is notorious for. The second came because he reportedly screamed "F you" at the ref after the play we just saw when the Warriors had already won. Classic Draymond drama. Only after calling Zach Edey soft, Edey has taken exception to this, proving that he is anything but soft.
And Edey and Green lock up. There was a physical battle in the prior possession, and Draymond Green has lost his mind.
This time we had Zach Edey showing immediately, "You're talking to the wrong guy, bud. I am not soft. I'm a 7'4" monster," and the Grizzlies won this game by 51 points. Now, is actually fighting someone great for basketball?
And then look at Klay Thompson and McDaniels. What is going on with that? Wow. You've got a full-on fracas going on.
Most would say no, some would say Rudy Gobert deserves this, but most of us would agree that fighting is not generally good for the sport. What is great though, are true rivalries forming on the court. We have seen what happens when the culture gets too friendly. Everyone right now claims that NBA players don't care about the game and that the product is boring. In recent years, the NBA has done a lot to take competition out of the game. Anthony Edwards was even fined $100,000 for this.
Man, all I knew was big, small pick and roll. Once he picked it up, I mean, who else? I gotta go get it. I'm like, I'm going for the win. I don't do overtime, so
Ant was just excited after a win. Not allowing personalities to be themselves is a horrible mistake. We've seen that in the current NBA ratings, and the NFL themselves learned this when they stopped end zone celebrations, got a lot of backlash, and now they put all of the cameras they can on any player who scores because fans, aka us, love trash talk. We love heated competition, and there's nothing wrong with that. The NBA was built on this type of competition. The bad boy Pistons were brutal to Michael Jordan, and Mike taking those Pistons teams down not only propelled him to 6 championships, but at the time those were cannot miss games. Remember that in 2022 the Grizzlies finished 56 and 26 with this core of Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane, and it was actually seen as a disappointment for the number 2 seeded Grizzlies to lose in the second round to the 3rd seeded Golden State Warriors, who went on to win the championship. Right now the NBA has almost no rivalries at all, which is a problem, but this Memphis team could not only be on the rise, they could be out for vengeance. Just look at Trey Young versus the Knicks right now. If there is one player who is trying his best to keep NBA rivalries alive, it is Trey Young, who after taking down the Knicks this season in the NBA Cup did the following.
Go to Vegas, baby. Roll that bones.
Roll the 7.
Roll that bones, baby.
The Atlanta Hawks were not supposed to be good this year, but with Trey leading the way with 22.5 points and 12 assists per game, Atlanta currently sits at 18-18, and they only have one vet in their starting lineup, 30-year-old Clint Capella. As sneakily, the Hawks have built a very promising young core with 2024 number 1 overall draft pick, Zachary Rizache, who has been showing flashes, but also, to be honest, he's only averaging 10.8 points per game, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.3 assists, so the jury is still out on him. However, 23-year-old Jalen Johnson has become one of the NBA's most underrated young players with averages of 19.8 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game in year 4. A huge leap from last season's numbers. Joining him in the starting lineup is Dyson Daniels, who is averaging over 3 steals per game, which is mind-boggling, and Trey Young is proving to be a worthy leader of a franchise. A lot of people have questioned Trey throughout the years. I'm on Team Trey, and I think we can all agree that we cannot question he is one of the game's biggest showmen. Let's flash back to game 1 of the 2021 playoffs against the Knicks.
Here is Young, finds his spot. Young on the floater, puts it in. Trey Young with a miraculous shot.
In this series, Trey would not only lead the Hawks to a series win and then lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, while he averaged 28.8 points and 9.5 assists per game in 16 playoff games at the age of 22. But in doing so, he now lives rent-free in Knicks fans' heads.
I hope these New York fans find their way to the exit real quick. Boo, take our home.
Suck my Trey Young, suck my Trey Young.
Really, this rivalry is currently about Knicks fans versus Trey Young. Trey has spoken about this and said,
"That's hilarious." Like, there's a lot of photos of me looking in the crowd, just smiling, and all these people just flipping me off. The New York people, it's funny.
While Jalen Brunson had a pretty civil response to Trey rolling the dice on the Knicks logo.
Any of that stuff bother you?
We should win the game if we don't want to do that.
What has Russell Westbrook been on lately?
Athletic, understands the game. He's a very good defensive player. They're going to call offense. And Westbrook upset here. Whoa, look out. Isaiah Stewart saying something to Westbrook now. And Stewart going to get called with a technical.
To run this back, Russ screams in the face of the Pistons bench, shoves multiple Pistons players, then after Isaiah Stewart gets in his face and gets a tech, Russ hilariously starts celebrating. Keep in mind that Isaiah Stewart is also someone who himself has been fighting against the world.
And then Jason Tatum. Tonight it's their number 1 guy, Jeremy Grant. Stewart and LeBron. Stewart is hot. And everybody's coming out now.
And he's still trying to get loose.
He is knocking over.
Some would even say Stewart plays dirty because of plays like this. Russell Westbrook, though, is currently on a mission to finish his career with the only thing that he is missing, the only thing that really matters when it comes to basketball, winning a championship. And this season for the Nuggets, I think Russ is playing at a level that we can all respect. We've heard the criticism about Russ, that he's a ball hog, that he pads his own stats, that he can't win a championship playing his way. But here he is playing in a winning culture in Denver with Nikola Jokic, and Russ has embraced a bench role to begin the season. And recently, after playing really well, Russ has started the last 6 games for Denver and is clearly a big part of the Nuggets' success this season. Denver is sitting at 4th in the Western Conference, even though Jamal Murray has somewhat struggled. Jamal is averaging 19.4 points per game, but is shooting just 43.3%. What's important to note here is that past players such as Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony refused to change up their games and instead chose to retire rather than take a secondary role such as the one that Russ is taking. Again, I really think this shows a lot about Russ's true colors. I think we really should respect this. Right now, he's averaging 12 points, 6.6 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game in just 26.8 minutes a night, while showing how valuable he can be as a high-energy, highly talented role player. I applaud that kind of humbleness, and the Russ to Jokic or Jokic to Russ connection has been beautiful. Again, though, Russ has been on a mission to win, and no one is safe. Last season with the Clippers, he took on Luka.
Doncic, foul by Westbrook. Doncic upset, has something to say. Westbrook pushes him. Now Westbrook pushes Washington. Westbrook upset, Doncic upset. The officials trying to separate him.
This season, he's gone at Wemby.
Him and Russ are
And after posterizing Rudy Gobert while Russ was on the Lakers, Russ was the first to come to Christian Braun's defense after
Christian Braun goes right at Gobert. Oh, what a slam for Christian Braun. And Gobert puts his armor on her shoulder. Westbrook now gets ahead.
I think it is safe to say NBA drama has picked up tremendously this season, and in a world where NBA ratings have been plummeting, I want to know from you, do you think this is a good thing for the league and its viewership problems? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, that way you never miss another video. Thank you for watching. You are awesome, we all know it, and as always, have an awesome day and peace.